The reason why we built FAPSCO is to unite the Filipino online professionals industry, to also promote collaboration with each other, and of course we wanted to help produce skilled online professionals, specialists, and of course leaders.
We've created FAPSCO with a vision to become an organization that supports all Filipino online professionals to be successful in their online careers and businesses, regardless of their affiliations.
I joined FAPSCO because as an online professional who's working at the comfort of my home, I needed other individual can share with me on this freelancing journey.
The reason why we have built the Filipino Online Professional Service Cooperative is to help the ICT graduates, aspirant freelancers, and this is also to help them develop, explore, and acquire new skills when it comes to online professional industry.
Ang paglambo o kalampusan sa usa ka organisasyon nagadepende sa kalidad sa mga miyembro o mga lideres niini. Ang FAPSCO dili lang adunay maanindot kayo nga advokasya o misyon na matabangan kitang tanang mga online professionals na magkahiusa, mulampo o mutubo kita sa atong pagpanarbaho o pagnegosyo online.
FAPSCO for me is a digital opportunity for me to develop and share my skills.
I joined FAPSCO as one of the founding members because I knew FAPSCO is going to be backed by other veteran online professionals and freelancers, thereby having an experienced, solid, and passionate founding members that we have today.
I joined FAPSCO because the vision of the co-op aligns with my personal vision to provide much-needed support to online professionals nationwide.
I joined FAPSCO because the people that I've met have the same values, mission, and vision as mine, and that is to provide assistance, pre-training, and coaching to those who wants to jumpstart their career as a freelancer.
I joined the FAPSCO community because it promotes collaboration instead of competition.
I joined FAPSCO because this is a group with a helping hand.
I wanted to be part of an organization that would be a pioneer group of individuals who will be working to promote online freelance.
Ayan. Welcome to FAPSTalk, friends and online professionals. This show is for you. FAPSTalk is brought to you by FAPSCO, the national-based cooperative for and by Filipino online professionals. Excuse me, inuubo po tayo ngayong panahon to. Please like our page, facebook.com/fapsco.ph. And you may also find us in Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn, or visit our website, fapsco.ph. Thank you for our partners, FAPSCO Media, and FAPSCO SMM Team and Membership Committee. FAPSCO members, Filipino Online Professionals Industry. Ayan, isa na naman pong napaka-interesting na discussion tonight with our guests. But before we go there, hello, magkumangmusta muna tayo sa ating mga co-host at ako'y nabubulol. Pasensya na at inuubo tayo. Hi, Rosh.
May tawa sa tabi ko. Kaya nakakapangisi din ako yung tawa niya, palang natatawa na ako. Eto, pagod. Parang feeling ko ang dami kong ginawa. Pero siguro kasi nagpuyat kami kagabi. Gumagawa kami ng copy, ad copy. Tapos yung mga presentation scripts ni Raquel. Inabot kami ng 1 a.m. So, para sa akin, hindi na ako sanay. Masyado, mapuyat. Kaya parang nangihina ako ngayon. Ang katapat, ice cream.
Yan. Ikaw, Shells, kumusta?
Ay, ito pagod na pagod. It's a tie. Mga past one din ako natulog, mga kung anong pinagagawa ko. Tapos, 6 pa lang. Ito yata pag mga thunders. 6 pa lang gising na ako. Gumagana yung utak ko.
Huwag na Thunders, Wranglers na lang.
Wranglers na lang.
Ano pa yung masagwa?
Parang ang laki-laki ng ngiti ng guest natin, Jehan.
Hindi siya makarelate.
Ba?
Hindi pa siya relate sa Wranglers. Ayan.
Hindi pa ba?
Ayan, introduce na natin ang ating guest.
Yes, introduce mo na.
Yeah, he's someone who enjoys the intellectual challenge of creatively overcoming limitations. Yan, ganda ng intro. Someone who has always been interested in emerging technologies and computers. He finished BS Computer Engineering in Ateneo de Zamboanga University, specializing in information security / cyber security. So yun na talaga yung pinag-aralan niya. Currently, he is the threat analyst for global threat operations in Trustwave Holdings Incorporated. And he is also a visiting lecturer at Ateneo de Zamboanga University, and he's also a security consultant at PurpleSec Incorporated. Marami po siyang mga accomplishments and achievements, foremost of which is he is currently a certified cybersecurity by ISC2. Ayan. And right now, he is affiliated with Zamboanga ICT Council as the Vice President for Internal Affairs. He is also affiliated with ZCSIRT, ICPEP National and Region 9. Ayan. Marami pa pong ibang mga ano sa kanyang bio. If you would like to check him out on LinkedIn. LinkedIn.com/n/Rex Mondia. Let's all welcome our guest for tonight, cybersecurity specialist Rico Mondia. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening everyone. Good evening, Ms. Jehan. Good evening, Ms. Charlene. Good evening, Ms. Josh Fell. So I'm happy to be here and really excited to share what I can, especially to the best of my knowledge, to your avid supporters and yun sa mga Filipino online freelancers.
Curious ako kung ilang taon na siya. So, yun ang first question ko. Parang ang dami niyang ginagawa, ang dami niyang achievement, di ba?
Oo nga.
Tapos kung single. Yan, first question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I'm 29 years old and yeah, turning 30 this September as well. And I'm happily married with 2 kids already. So, yeah, yun po.
Happily daw, guys. Sorry. Okay, congratulations that you're happy. Maraming salamat. Sige, Je, batuhin mo yung pangalawang tanong. Masaya na ako sa sagot.
Satisfied ka na ba? Hindi natin pwedeng
Hindi pwede ibenta.
Okay. Yeah. Pero ano na lang, actually,
tatanong ko sana. Sorry.
Itatanong ko sana how you got into the cybersecurity field. Pero since yun talaga yung pinag-aralan mo in college, parang napaka-specific na talaga na yun agad yung ginawa mong major. So what got you interested in cybersecurity?
Actually, thank you for the question, Ms. Jan. Actually, hindi po talaga ako agad nag-cybersecurity. But based din doon sa I think we have been together doon sa isang event in the ICT, right? So nakwento ko yung short story doon. At a young age, I've always been interested in emerging technologies and computers. So maaga din ako namulat doon sa mga devices and cell phones, mobile phones, definitely kasi my father used to be a tech evangelist din. Mahilig siya sa mga technologies and emerging technologies. Kaya kapag may mga bagong release ng cellphones, yun talaga pinag-iipunan, so binibili, dinidiscover kung paano gamitin, paano i-utilize. So at when I was in high school, around 11 or 12 years old ako, syempre to aid my studies din, my parents bought me my first computer. So, yun pa yung yung malaki yung likod ng computer tapos puti pa siya. Yeah, kasi ang pagkakaalala namin, MCore was the first supplier ng PC dito. So, they immediately when they knew it coming, immediately nag-order si Papa and then sabi niya, sige, makakatulong sa pag-aaral mo kasi maraming benefits, maraming may tutulong or maraming aid to aid my studies. Until such time na una ginamit ko siya for research and then hindi pa malakas yung internet dati, dial-up pa lang tayo meron. So yung technician or yung computer tech ng MCore madalas pumunta sa bahay kasi sineset niya yung siya yung nagre-reformat ng computer, siya yung naglalagay ng mga operating system and apps na kailangan namin. So, doon pa lang nakita ko na parang maganda yung ginagawa niya, yung i-insert niya yung CD doon sa sa system unit, tapos maghihintay ma-install yung isang OS, tapos tatanggalin na naman, ipapasok yung disk 2. So, yun yung naging yun yung pinagmulatan ko na na era that time. So, until such time around 20 that was 2005 when I got my first computer. Uh when after 2 years, 2007, yun, naging matunog na yung mga balita sa news na mga hacking incidents. Every now and then, pag nalaland ako dun sa Yahoo News page, di ba Yahoo pa yung that time, yung pinakasikat na search engine. So, makikita mo agad yung mga news articles. So, may mga nakikita ko na itong company hinak ng ganitong organization, and then matunog din yung anonymous. So I got curious. Curiosity lang po talaga yung nag-drive sa akin to be in this field. But that was at a young age pa lang. So may mga nasa-search ako mga keywords sa internet. So how to start hacking and mga ganong terms. Tapos I stumbled upon this site, which is hackthesite.org. So doon ako nag-baseline at as early as 12 years old. So, nung nakita ko yung site na yun, may mga tutorial siya how to do a simple web exploit, paano mga SQL injection, mga simple lang. But as far as the modules were going down with the module, nagiging complex na siya. And at an early age, sabi ko, hindi pa ganun I'm not that intellectually capable dati. So, hindi rin ako matalino. I'm not that best performing in our class. Wala lang, pasaway din ako. I'm into video games din. So, it's becoming more complex, and then naisipan ko, sige, hindi ko na lang at least meron akong nakitang resource that time, and given na on that year hindi pa masyado kalakasan yung internet, so kapag magse-search ako ng ganito, it usually take 5 minutes before pa mag-load, ganun. Pag magbabasa ka ng article, yung front page ng article hati pa kasi hindi mo mababasa yung nasa baba kasi sa sobrang bagal ng dial-up net dati. So fast forward, may mga pa rin. After a year yun, uh, with my curiosity pa rin, nag-join ako ng mga forums. Uso dati yung internet relay chat. So may mga din doon, may mga may mga tao na nagbibigay ng mga tutorials, may mga experts din na halo-halo na po. May mga experts, may mga illegal stuff na rin. Okay? So doon ko din na-discover yung mga basic device exploit lang, mag-install ng mga keylogger, but it's out of curiosity, and I think everybody can agree na when you're starting out in the field, syempre unahin mo talaga, hindi mo maiisip na ginagawa mo pala is illegal. Okay, just to validate your knowledge na alam kong gamitin to, ito yung instruction, how to use it, how to utilize this tool. So ganun lang technically yung naging ko. So fast forward, hindi ko na kinontinue that time yung curiosity ko with cybersecurity, but I pursued the course of engineering or computer engineering sa Ateneo. So I just parang a normal day of student lang, ganun. Kung minsan hindi na pumapasok kasi tinatamad or gusto lang maglaro ng Dota, ganun. Ganun lang din ako. So until such time na merong nag-ignite sa akin, and that was the Fishing of Angels. It's a technopreneur activity for startup, and that was hosted by Kuya Chino. Yeah. Technically, dun ako ulit na ignite sa mundo ng tech. So sabi ko, at a very young age then, Kuya Chino has has become the CEO of his company, yung Time Free. So parang nainganyo ulit ako. Sabi ko, sige, ayusin ko rin pag-aaral. So yun, I graduated computer engineering, and then yung first job ko just before I graduate pa po, kasi kinuha na ako as computer programmer instructor sa isang private school. So I'm teaching a junior high school, and then at the same time, after a year, I was hired as a network security administrator. So yun, doon dahan-dahan na ulit. So I'm handling firewalls, yung general IT na work doon sa isang canning company. So yun, mag-ayos ng mga sirang laptop, desktops, together with nag-establish ng plan, how to install CCTV cameras, mga ganun. And networks, mag-configure ng mga devices, security devices, mga switches, routers, yan. So after a year then, around 2018, we were invited to attend or participate yung event ni DICT, which is the Data Privacy and Cybersecurity Summit. So bigla na namang sabi ko, "Uy, cyber parang andito na naman. Ito pala yung term cybersecurity, hindi lang pala kasi before may misconception between hacking eh. Kasi pag narinig natin yung term na hacking, bigla na lang may negative connotation. So hindi pala. So there are many perspective of hacking. There are I know you're familiar with it. Alam naman natin na may mga white hat hackers, may mga gray hat, may mga black hat, and ngayon dumami ng mga hats eh. Okay? So marami ng sombrero daw color hats ngayon. So yun, na-discover ko din yung and then until such time na sabi ko, sige, I think I wanted to specialize with cybersecurity kasi nakita ko yung passion ko dito. Nakita ko na madali ko siyang makuha. For example, if I stumble upon a certain problem, especially doon sa mga simulated rooms na inaano ko na where I train, for example sa Try Hack Me, Hack the Box, nabuboost yung confidence ko. Sabi ko, alam ko pala paano to gawin. Alam ko pala paano siya i-solve. I know how to break things and I know how to fix things. Ganun kasi sa cybersecurity. You have the skills to break something and you also have the skills to protect or defend something. So, yun. I think that's pretty much about for the intro.
Ang bongga, no? Na kasi parang yung kwento ni Rex, na-emphasize niya yung importance ng yung inaano mo yung bata. Ano ba tawag doon, Rosh, yung talagang exposure.
Yes.
Exposure ng mga students sa mga bagay-bagay that would really spark their curiosity. Kasi kung hindi naman na-spark yung curiosity ni Rex, wala siya ngayon sa kung ano yung ginagawa niya, 'di ba? Now, before we move on, mag-good evening muna tayo sa ating mga nanonood. Hello, Mayan and Bern. Miss na namin kayong mag-co-host dito. Paramdam naman kayo paminsan-minsan. Bern is watching from General Santos City. Mian, mahaba man daw ang posisyon sa cybersecurity ka pa rin meant to be. True. Ayan. Good evening also to Albert Reyes, and Jerby Lagmay, and also Kendrick Howe. Let's go, Mr. Rico Mondia. I think this is your friend. Ayan. Good evening sa mga nanonood. Pero na-curious lang ako, Rex. Na-mention mo yung you break it and then you fix it. So, I mean, yung cybersecurity kasi kami mga online professionals kami, we're working in the online workspace. Ano yung, kumbaga, role ng cybersecurity sa mga trabaho namin bilang mga online workers?
Okay. Thank you for that question, Ms. Jen. Actually, yeah, to emphasize, si cybersecurity kasi, it is an interdisciplinary approach. Okay? Sa ano pa lang, I'm not sure if is it okay to share screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sige. Okay lang ba?
May access siya, Cheryl?
May access to share ba, Cheryl? Sino ang host? I think ginawa tayong host ni
Ayan, okay na. Nagawa ko na. Sharing ng screen.
Ayan. Sige. Yan. So,
handa talaga?
Lang, para at least ma-visualize din ng mga audience natin. So, cybersecurity has a lot of domains. So, kaya we can never tell ourselves or we can never label ourselves, or kung meron man siguro, then sila na yun. But I don't label myself as an expert, no, kasi nakita naman natin cybersecurity is an
Ang
interdisciplinary
dami
approach.
pala.
So kung makikita natin, ang dami pong domains in cybersecurity. So magmula
Grabe.
sa threat intelligence, career development, nandyan po. So nandyan din sa certifications, trainings, coaching, conferences, peer group self-study. Physical security also affects, hindi akala natin na pag sinabing cybersecurity, digital asset lang yung affected, no? But no, nandyan pa rin yung physical security. What if your device got stolen? Ano yung pwedeng ma-employ natin physical measures para hindi malik yung mga folders or mga data, walang makapasok sa server room, mga ganun. So, nandyan din yung security architecture, nandyan yung policy making, so nandyan din yung mga nandyan yung offensive and defensive approach. So, pag sinabi natin kaya nabanggit ko yung we have the capability to break it, and we have the capability to protect and defend it. Kasi cybersecurity has two main roles. May offensive security and may defensive. Ngayon meron ng third role, which is if you have the capability to as offensive and you have the capability to defend, ang tawag dyan purple teaming. So purple na. So kasi ang red is yung offensive is red teaming. So yung blue is defensive. So yung if you mix both colors, if you know how to defend and do the offense, so it's called purple teaming. Yun. So ganun po.
Hindi ko na-realize na ganyan pala siya kadami. Kasi, di ba si Sam, he's also into cybersecurity. Yun ang gusto niyang gawin. Kaya lang, nalinya talaga siya sa web development. Doon siya. And yun, mga server administration. So, medyo naiintindihan ko yung ibang mga sinasabi niya na kailangan niya munang mag-practice nung illegal na mga approach bago niya matutunan na i-secure yung network.
That's exactly right, ma'am.
Hindi ko lang alam kung paano yun.
That's exactly right kasi
paano pag nahuli ka habang nagte-testing ka?
Yeah, kasi ngayon po meron namang actually that's accurate kasi you cannot defend something if you don't know your enemy. Okay? So alam ko may diyan, may isang saying diyan si Sun Tzu na if you know your enemy and not yourself, then mas malaki yung threat. Okay? So going into offensive security, or sinasabi nga nila to better understand how to protect a certain organization or individual or system, kailangan alam po natin yung mga emerging threats. Paano mag-isip yung attacker? How do they think? Ano yung usual approach nila? Ano yung attack? And ano yung cyber kill chain? Yung tinatawag nila, ano yung cyber kill chain? And when doing that, may mga naman po. May mga, you don't have to worry not to test, you don't have, sa panahon ngayon, you don't have to test production servers or yung mga systems kasi may mga simulated environments naman po. So may mga you can build your own home lab, you can practice your skills through different platforms, learning platforms. Nandiyan yung Vulnercity, nandiyan si Hack the Box, nandiyan si Try Hack Me, and these are the few platforms na I'm into it din, no? Kasi I try to practice my skills dyan din sa mga platforms na yan. Kaya to at least maintain kung ano yung mga natutunan ko, just to validate, I still know how to do this, I still know how to protect it, I still know how to break it. Yan, mga ganun po. So, kasi, syempre, tama kayo, ma'am, you cannot test yung mga production servers, especially may mga tayo meron na tayong mga batas ngayon. So, yun.
Grabe. Yung tanong ko kanina, what if, Rico, nahuli ka habang nag-aaral ka pa lang? Kasi ang cybersecurity law natin yun ang
ano yung palusot nun?
Oo, paano yun?
I really think na getting into cyber din po while studying, dapat unless na lang na nagse-self-study, pero you got to have a good mentor na pagsasabihan ka na, or that will keep on reminding you na do not test or do not conduct malicious activities with a certain organization or dun sa mga production sites that is na walang paalam or na walang consent from them. So alam naman natin yan, ma'am, na alam naman ng mga nag-get into cybersecurity, or I think relevant pa rin dito yung ignorance of the law excuses no one. So we have the RA 10175, or yung Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. So everything I mean, everyone should be aware of that, na if you're going to test sites na wala kang pahintulot, then you are breaking the law. Yun.
So
Grabe, no?
basically, paalam muna bago hack.
Iba talaga yung sa cybersecurity, no? Yung pinakita mo kanina na image, pagkakita ko, wow, yung palang isang tingin ko palang parang yung utak ko nawiwindang na. How
Ayoko
much
na.
more kung ako yung gagawa, no? So hindi siya para sa mga tamad na tao na ayaw magsipag-test. So, Ricky, Rico pala, Rico, sorry. Ang daming mga tanong dito. So, yung mga audience natin, masyado silang nanonood talaga sa mga sinasabi mo, pinapakinggan nila. So, mayroong question tayo at kay Bernalita Tesoro, what are the 3 essential cybersecurity mobile app or desktop that you recommend for online professionals?
Okay, thank you for that question. Pero basahin ko lang ulit, no? What are the 3 essential cybersecurity
Feeling ko
mobile apps?
nasa ano tayo?
Ay,
Mystic Beans.
I'm not really sure kung ano po yung okay, siguro how I get the question is on how you protect your devices very
Yes, for
well,
protection
siguro.
of devices.
I think na ano pa rin user awareness pa rin po. So be careful on clicking suspicious links, ganun pa rin. And then when you are using your mobile phones and devices, make sure na merong password or naka-pin. When using PIN, wag yung ascending or descending order, wag lang yung pinaka-basic na 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and hindi yung make sure that combinations that doesn't relate to you. What do I mean by that? Hindi yung birthday mo, like for example, your birthday is June 4, 0104 lang din. Make it complicated, make it na ikaw lang, make it a little bit complex, kahit sabihin natin na 4-digit combination yung PIN, but it is only na yung kayo lang po nakakalam, mga ganun. Same with passwords. Pag passwords naman po with your phones and social media accounts, whatever it is, do not reuse your passwords. And then make it stronger. Implement two-factor and multi-factor authentication. Yun bang after you put your password, kasi alam naman natin there are a lots of breaches happening day by day. So malalaman na lang natin itong organization na to or itong social media platform na to na breach. When we say breach, ibig sabihin possible na may na-harvest na information like our username and passwords. So although our passwords are stored safely, yung mga hashes, but masipag din yung mga masipag din yung mga attackers. So they have to they have a way on figure things out kung ano yung maging password niyo. So do not reuse your password on multiple platforms, or much better if to use yung mga password managers. Yan. So if password manager lang din, may mga naman din you can search dun sa Play Store or App Store yung mga reputable na password managers. Kasi relatively it's really difficult to have multiple passwords, no, na iba-iba yung password, tapos iba-iba din yung social media platform. May email kayo, meron kayong Facebook, Instagram, and other social media na alam naman natin yung mga online field workers ginagamit nila yun for their clients. So yun.
Question regarding sa password. Kasi yung iba ang
Yes po.
ginagawa, pag sa sign up sila, ang ginagawa nila, sign up using yung Google nila kasi nga mabilis yun, di ba?
Oo, yes. Ginagawa ko yun. Sign up using...
Ginagawa ko din yun.
Kasi
pero,
hundreds na tayo, hindi natin maaalala yung password na.
Ang ginagawa ko kasi meron akong email na hindi yun yung main email ko. Yun yung pinapang sign up ko ng lahat. So, ano maipapayo mo sa mga gumagawa ng ganun?
My advice is that kasi if I wanted to put back again the question. No? I want to ask our audience siguro. And of course, kung gusto rin sumagot ng mga host, ano po yung isang account na sa tingin nyo is very crucial? Is it your banking? Is it social media? Is it email? Yun. What do you
Actually,
think
it's
po?
email,
Yeah,
no?
that's right. That's right. Kasi
Nakakonect
if
lahat, pati yung banking.
yun, yes po,
Patay tayo
tama. Kasi
lahat.
especially
Oh my
if you only
God.
have one email and then it's a multi-purpose email, nandyan na yung banking, nandyan yung work, nandyan yung personal life, nandyan especially if your email, kasi sa email natin when for example, let's say Google yung email service provider ninyo. Syempre sa Google they have multiple products and services. Nandyan yung Google Photos, nandyan yung Google Drive, where you store your documents, where you store your pictures. Minsan nakasync up pa yung pictures nyo sa phone papunta dun sa email ninyo. So imagine attackers have access to your, or simply attackers have access to your email by simply employing social engineering attack or kung na-phish kayo. So you only have one single point of failure. So pag na-compromise yung email nyo, given na
Patay
nandoon
lahat.
lahat yes.
Kailangan palitan ko
Yun,
muna
ganun.
yung password ng email ko.
Yun. So usually we recommend na you need to have a separate email for your banking transactions, separate email for work, or kung may mga syempre may mga employees naman na binibigyan ng work email, or basta magkaiba yung email na ginagamit for banking, for personal, for alam ko may iba may mga dating apps din so iba din yon. So iba rin yung for iba rin yung for social media. So at least alam mo na pag na-breach yung social media mo, alam mo kung anong email yung papalitan mo agad ng password. And I'm pretty sure na for online Filipino or online freelancers, kasi jack of all trades na rin kayo. You are the security person yourself. Kayo na po yung IT. Kung nasira yung device, nasira yung laptop, kayo na rin magre-research. I think all of this talents or skills na meron sa inyo eh. So at least hindi naman I think this is not new to you. So hindi na rin bago yung word na security or yung mga device security or information security and privacy to you. Kaya yun lang. I think we have that common ground. So yun. Ano na lang din siguro, it's a matter of enforcing yourself to do this cyber hygiene. Yun mga cyber hygiene. Back up your data regularly. So if you heard of 3-to-1 backup policy, yun po, at least keep 3 backup of your data and 2 platforms, alam ko sa cloud and sa external drive, and then iba yung storage, for example. So yun po.
Ang ganda ng topic, no?
Natakot tayo lahat.
Oo, meron. Hindi naman ako medyo natakot, Jen, kasi mayroon kasi akong 4 na emails. Iba yung email ko talaga sa pampera, iba yung email ko sa social media, tapos yung pang lang ng pang kung ano-ano. Yun yung nakakonect.
Yun, that's actually a good practice.
Yes, thank you very much. At least medyo ako ngayon.
Hindi ko na maalala kung ano yung mga, pero alam ko talaga yung sa banking ko, alam ko yung isa is, oo nga.
Siguro maraming nagsabi ngayon na oo nga.
Ulo ko.
Mayroon pang additional na katanungan dito. Gaano daw kadalas dapat nag-change ng password?
Okay, thank you for that question. Actually, if you are meron kasing mga if you're in an organization, meron din po kasing mga policy. So may mga organizations na yung policy nila every 6 months nagpapalit ng password, or kapag naka-connect sa isang domain controller yung device na binibigay nila sa employer nila, even though work from home, ganun. So nag-enforce talaga ng na pwedeng mag-change ng password every 6 months, every 3 months, ganun. So wala naman talaga siyang definite timeline na kung kailan dapat. It's like kumbaga nabasa ko before sa isang meme, no? Changing your password is like changing your underwear. So ganon. So just make it a habit, and then kapag makita and never share it with anyone. So ganon nga po. Kasi it's it's interesting kasi may iba po din tayong I think nung nung hindi pa tayo work from home, no. May madalas talaga sa mga offices natin, uy, napaka-complicated ng password. Pero ano yung error na ginawa? Sinulat sa sticky notes, tapos nilagay doon sa harap ng desk. Di ba?
Ano naman ako?
I know
Ng passwords,
some of them I think some of them felt guilty, especially dun sa mga sa mga previous talks ko. Sabi niya, ay sir, ganun talaga dito sa amin. May nakita nga ako na yung password kapag inopen ko yung libro na nasa harap ng desk, andun agad yung password, naka-sticky notes lang. Okay, so ganun. So ano lang din, I think security is everyone's responsibility. So yun po.
Naloka ako to sa sinabi niya na it's changing your password is like changing your underwear and never share it to anyone. So ang underwear bawal talagang i-share sa anyone. Yun yung nag-stick sa akin. No, kidding aside, Rico, kidding aside. Meron pa tayong isang tanong na hindi nababasa dito. Balikan natin. Ano ang mga startup courses na Anong mga startup course sa mga gusto mag-pursue? Ayun. Anong startup course ang kukunin kung gusto mo mag-pursue ng cybersecurity? O kasi hindi ko alam na merong school na tayo dito or may course na tayo tungkol dyan.
Okay, that's a great question. Actually, always start with awareness. Like itong ginagawa po natin. Actually, this is one way to deliver cybersecurity awareness or information security awareness with our audience, especially to dun sa mga non-technical people or dun sa mga tao na who wants to get into cybersecurity. So walang definite path for cybersecurity, but I think disclaimer na lang po, I might suggest some but hindi po ako sponsored. So okay. So for if you want to break into cybersecurity or if you want to start learning how to get into this job, siguro pwede na rin pong at least until now na may debate pa rin between skills and certification. But I take it as it is na lang. So merong mga free courses na ino-offer yung mga legitimate provider such as ISC2. Ito yung mga may CBK, may mga common body of knowledge for this type of field. So ISC2, yung Certified in Cybersecurity, is a good entry-level certification. Yan. Actually, nag-release din si Google, partnership with Coursera, I think, yung isang course nila. So maganda rin yun. And then if you want to di pa pinakita ko po kanina, ang daming domains in cybersecurity. So, depende na lang po, nasa preference talaga ng individual kung ano yung tatahakin niyang path. It's either pupunta ka dun sa offensive side or pupunta ka dun sa sa defensive side. So, depende rin po. Meron din naman you don't have to be baka may magtanong dyan, do I need to be technical? Do I need to have a technical skills sa cybersecurity? Hindi naman po talaga. If you are good in managing policy or governance, pwede naman po. Meron si cybersecurity meron naman dito yung mga governance, policy making, mga laws and regulations, if you're aware of that. May mga consultancy din. So, ganun. Marami pong hindi naman lahat lang for technical people yung cybersecurity. Welcome naman siya for all for all ages and perspective.
Policy making. May pag-asa pala kahit hindi techie.
Yeah.
Si Raquel nga nag-message, parang gusto niya raw i-accept yung in-offer na parang cybersecurity keme. Sabi ko, tumigil-tigil ka, ang dami-dami mo nang ginagawa. Nagsha-shiny object syndrome ka na naman dyan, Rax.
Sabi ko nga hindi niya rin maintindihan kasi iba yung mga terminologies. Pero siguro if you're already exposed, 'di ba? Kasi katulad yung ibang sinasabi niya, naiintindihan ko yung iba, pero hindi rin lahat. Kasi nga naikikwento lang din naman sa akin ni Sam. Pero yung bigla ka na lang papasok doon, mahirap siguro. Tsaka I'm sure pumapasok ka rin sa mga sa mga underground na mga forums, na mga 'di ba, na mga groups. So, nung pumasok ka doon, is there something meron ka bang realization na parang natakot ka ba na ganito pala katindi, ganito pala yung kailangan kong aralin, ganito pala yung mga yung gano'n, yung parang kang napunta sa isang mundo na parang scary na yung dating sa'yo. Kasi iba kasi pag nandun ka na sa deep web.
Yes, that's true, Miss Rush. Actually, when I got there, doon ko na-realize na tama talaga yung mga sinasabi nila na this is just a surface web. What you, kahit nga on a simple search engine, kapag magsa-search ka lang ng, for example, if you have questions with Google, di ba, we were thrown with the result of mga million, there are million results for a certain question. Pero isipin natin na it's just a figment of what we see. So yun, when we start exploring yun nga, mga deep web, dark web, marami talaga mga realizations na hindi lahat ng nakikita natin dun sa surface web uh, na yun na yun. Okay. Na yun. So marami pang ano. So yun, yung mga realizations ko rin while getting in that space, siguro masasabi ko lang na yung mga curious dyan, wag na lang kasi you might see things na you will be disgusted to, or minsan hindi ka
Yes.
makaya ng sikmura yun. But yung mga ano, for the sole purpose, minsan yung ginagawa din ng ibang security professionals, we go there just to see kung may mga bago bang leaks, yun, may mga bentahan ba ng information, or what we call it actually was threat hunting or threat intelligence. So may ganong terms eh. So we try to get as much information as possible na, for example, hindi alam ng itong organization na to na na-breach sila kasi binebenta na dun sa deep web or dark web yung mga information nila for this amount. So yung mga bentahan din dun hindi lang GCash to GCash. It's like it's more of that, yeah, mga Bitcoin, mga ganun, mga Bitcoin exchange. Yun po, mga ganun. So yun,
Grabe pag may nag-GCash.
they will their transactions are left untraceable, but hindi naman talaga siya totally untraceable. So ganun. Yun. There yun, basta ano na lang, iwas na lang din siguro sa temptation to look what's behind that to look what's below the iceberg, kumbaga ganun.
Oo, yung sinabi niya, Je, na you cannot unsee. 'Di ba? Kung ano yung nakita mo, you cannot unsee it.
Ano yung pinaka let's say safe for work or mga pinaka-interesting na mga discoveries mo sa dark web na so far hindi mo na siya ma-unsee as of now? Parang ano yung pinaka hindi mo in-expect na makikita mo doon? Super interested ako dito sa mga ganitong topic.
Yung
Siguro
unforgettable.
unforgettable nung na-curious ako about the Red Room. Yeah, I think anyone can agree na even if you search it through Google, kahit sabi niya Red Room on dark web, it's very unsettling. So nakatindig balahibo, ganun. So most often than not din yung mga you stumble upon child pornography. Yun talaga. If you have seen yung documentary on Netflix, yung it's about Korean, may isang Korean syndicate. Nakalimutan ko yung title. Teka ha. Let me fire up my Netflix kasi pinanood ko siya nung isang araw. It's a very good documentary, real experience ng mga cyber hell, exploring an internet horror. Yun, ang nangyari doon, na merong mga grupo, they exploited these girls, most of them minors, or yung iba kahit mga kahit mga nasa tamang edad na, they fell victim into a certain group, tapos pinagkakalat yung mga nudes nila. They were forced to do that kasi they have given their information na accidentally, or basta ganun yung ganun yung theme niya. So kaya dun sa mga viewers natin, especially dun sa mga parents, make sure to check on your sons and daughters. Hindi ko lang in-close ito sa check up on your family members, especially yung mga especially mga susceptible to these attacks, kasi social engineering attack has been the most famous, or still the number one attack vector ng mga threat actors. Why? Kasi it's easy for the threat actor, I wouldn't name them hackers kasi may mga good hackers naman. May mga yung mga threat actors natin, it's easy for them to manipulate the human trust, yung mga human behavior compared to exploiting systems. Kasi 'di ba, from time to time yung mga systems, yung mga devices natin nag-update, so may mga defenses na nangyayari. But yung human nature, we tend to trust yun, yung human behavior, yun talaga yung most commonly na-exploit nila. So no matter how secure your organization is, no matter how kahit ilang security control meron ka, ilang antivirus na meron sa cellphone mo, but if you're susceptible to attack, pag binigyan ka lang ng link, clinic mo na lang agad. So yun, still madadali pa rin yung yung information natin.
Now that you mentioned that, super ako dyan, that's really kumbaga, that's really a pain point for me yung mga ganyan. Especially, I have kids na mga babae pa talaga. So, do you do parang cybersecurity awareness na road shows for students, or are you willing to do that? Kasi I think this is a very, very important topic that we need to discuss with our youth.
Yes, isa na rin po 'yun sa advocacy ko, Ms. Jehan. Actually, I know you're aware na pag may mga activity before sa DICT, ako yung nagto-talk. I've been speaking with a lot of audience na rin. So from schools, from the academe, on all levels, even with our Philippine National Police, even with our Armed Forces of the Philippines, yun, may mga talks ako with them, and other DICT regions, no, and other organizations as well. So yun, nasa advocacy ko na rin po talaga na to deliver this kind of talks para maging aware yung natin, yung mga audience natin, yung mga young people natin, and of course dun sa mga people located yung kumbaga, di ba, nililabel natin yung mga geographically isolated and disadvantaged area, or dun sa mga GIDA sites na hindi pa aware sa ganito. Kapag nakita lang ng devices, magpa-picture ganyan, di ba? So therefore, kasi limited pa lang yung knowledge nila. So yeah, isa din yun sa advocacy ko, and this is the reason why din I took the challenge to teach on and dito sa isang college, kasi dati kasi ano lang wini-wish ko lang talaga din sana may mga cybersecurity course ako nung college, pero wala, kulang resources, wala pang mga professionals dito sa kung meron man, hindi pa ganun ka viable yung information, mamahalin yung mga resources doon. Ang daming challenges before. So ngayon, nandito na, for example, nandito na yung mga professionals. It's just a matter of giving it back, or paying it back dun sa community natin.
Yan. So ngayon, Rix, may project ka na for ZICT. Gawin natin yan. Matik na yan.
Sure, no problem.
Yan, Cheryl, ang tahimik mo. Kamusta ka dyan?
Nagpapalit na siya ng password. Hindi. I am good naman. Ano lang, yung pamangking ko lang medyo nang-aabala. Okay. So, ang dami mong na-share. Parang medyo nga, na ano ko rin nang nabanggit ni Jehan yung kanyang anak, na ano ko naman yung mga pamangking ko kasi mahilig sila yung naglalaro.
Cellphone
Sila,
na eh.
Yes.
Ano ba yung
yun, siguro as syempre, I'm a parent myself. So employ nyo lang talaga yung mga parental controls doon sa devices. May mga tutorials naman dyan, and even yung device mismo, for example, pag bumili ka ng device out of the box, meron agad kung sino yung gagamit. Is it your children, or is it a minor, or is it legal age ba yung gagamit? So kung minor, mag-employ ka ba ng mga parental controls? Kung wala naman, yan, meron naman tayong mga tutorials yan sa YouTube how to implement mga parental controls dun sa mga devices. Kasi when kahit ako nga dun sa boy and girl ko, so nalalaman ko, for example, ano yung mga pinapanood nila sa YouTube. Kapag nag-visit sila ng mga contents na for mature contents, agad na bablock kasi nandun na yun sa nandun na yun sa checklist, parang ganun. So kapag naman mag-change sila ng password, malalaman ko rin kung bakit nag-change yung password. Kasi hindi natin alam sila ba nag-change ng password or their devices are remotely controlled na. Ganon. So may mga ganong instances. So malalaman ko rin kapag may mga financial transactions silang ginawa. So bakit ito bumili ng ganito? Bakit niya gustong bumili ng ganito? Bakit niya inaccess yung Shopee? Bakit niya inaccess yung Lazada? So may mga ganong may mga ganong tendency. And yun, one way din siguro na one way I want to share is update your devices regularly. Kasi there's a question, how do you often update your devices? Kapag nakita mo, for example, kapag may nag-pop up na software update, sige, hayaan mo muna kasi wala pa akong time, mga ganun. So, it is important also, I wanted to share with our audience, no? It is important to update your devices. Bakit? Not just your devices, pati yung mga apps natin. Update it immediately kapag may mga security concerns. Especially pag binabasa niyo pa po ba yung mga yung mga patch notes, ganun, no? So bakit? I wanted to share a quick sharing lang siguro. Why do you have to read yung mga patch notes? So merong if you're familiar with isang field din sa cybersecurity, which is bug bounty. So ibig sabihin lang nito, teka ha. Bug bounty. So your favorite apps or yung mga organization, syempre business din yan eh. May mga company din yan. So for example, ito. Yan. Share ko lang po So this is just an example. So we have what we call HackerOne, or ito yung bug bounty platform. Anong ginagawa dito? Nandito yung mga company that they want their system or they want their application to be secured. Bakit? Or paano? So test nila doon sa mga experts or doon sa mga bug bounty hunters. How? Ganito. So for example, let's take a look at this hacker activity. So dito, papasok si client or yung organization and magre-register din si hacker. Ganun. So for example, let me know your favorite app. So let's say, Shopify. Diba? So si Shopify, bongga to magbigay ng ng bounty. So for example, Shopify. Although this might be technical, but I want you to to get the most out of it lang, no? So for example, XSS at Jampro Shopify.cloud.com. So for example, ito yung vulnerability na nakita, ito yung description ng vulnerability, ito yung bounty na nabigay. So imagine getting $9,400. That's how you get paid for being bug bounty hunter or dito sa So given that medium pa lang po yung severity na. So I'm just telling this kasi 'di ba, sabi ko kanina, update your device, your apps regularly kasi yung mga companies like Shopify, nagpa-participate sila sa mga ganitong programs just to make their clients secured, para alam ng client, si Shopify malakas yung niyan, may bug bounty program yan. So from time to time nag-update yan sila. 'Di ba, may mga update. So for example, let's say Shopify, yung bug bounty program niya launch 2015 pa. So yan, nagbibigay sila ng mga rewards kung sino makakita ng mga ng mga loopholes on their system.
Shopee ba may ganyan? Kasi si Shopee yung common na app na ginagamit ng mga youngsters, ng mga minors. So
yes, I think so po. I think so.
meron.
Hindi. Yeah, sige, search ko na lang po mga. Pero ito yung ito yung gusto ko ipakita din sa mga audience natin that most of these organizations, even nandito rin yung yung US Department of Defense. So imagine US Department of Defense na po which is sabi natin secured I mean they're all security pero nagpapaano pa rin sila, nagpapabug bounty pa rin. Okay? Yan, no? US Department of Defense. So, yan, ito yung handle ng hacker. So, ito yung nagawa niya. Although, some of this information are redacted para hindi naman to protect their to protect their assets. Ganun. So, whatever app that you might be thinking nandito. Ang alam ko nandito rin si TikTok. Yan. Nagpapabug bounty rin si TikTok eh. Yan. I think nandito si TikTok. Yun, ayun si TikTok, si RLF. Tapos nagbibigay din siya ng mga bounties. 2.5. Yan. So, $1,000. Yun. Kasi, yeah, from time to time, itong mga applications na to, kaya yan may mga uh, may mga regular updates kasi may mga uh, yun, may mga hackers nga na ano na ang pinakamoto nila before we wanted to discover yung vulnerability before the bad guys do. Kasi pag what if na lang hindi controlled, 'di ba? Katulad nga kanina sinabi ni Ma'am, what if hindi controlled ng mga ano, what if sa wild lang yung ano, yung mga hackers habang nag-aaral pa lang. So, yun, dito may safe harbor sila. So, kahit i-hack mo yung TikTok o i-hack mo yung organization, hindi ka makukulong kasi this is with consent and this is with yun, may mga bounty nga. You get paid for hacking them. Yun.
Gusto ko yung bounty. Matagal nang binabanggit ni Sam yun eh. Sabi ko magpunta na lang. Hindi daw yan ganun kadali.
Sabi ko nga kay Raquel, sige na tuloy mo ng cybersecurity, tapos karimin mo yung bug bounty.
May question pa ako, last question na siguro.
Sure. Go ahead.
Yung, di ba, sa Facebook, mayroong mga apps na yung mga games, yung mga ganon-ganon. So, ang dami mo kasi nakikitang friends na nag-games, ganon. So, gaano ka-secure yung mga ganon?
At the confidence level kapag ako mag-ano, Ma'am, no. Kasi yun nga yun din yung cliche doon kasi even though hindi lang doon sa mga games, no, yung how will you, 'di ba may mga games na see when will you, paano yung mode, paano ka mamamatay in the future, parang ganun, tapos mag-a-answer ka ng mga certain questions. I think that's pakulo lang din yun ng mga gustong mag-social engineer sa inyo. So may mga cases kasi na 'di ba hindi naman kahit may mga sponsored ads, hindi naman regulated yan ni Facebook. So basta may pera ka lang pambayad sa platform that you want to advertise this, okay, i-advertise ni Facebook. Kahit 'di ba if makikita nyo yung mga yung nag-rise yung mga AI like ChatGPT, yung si Bard, agaran na lang meron din mga sponsored ads sa Facebook na use ChatGPT, click nyo dito. Pero pag click nyo sa ibang link kayo mapupunta. Yun, may mga ganong din eh. May mga ganong modus din yung mga threat actors na yun. So, just be careful. Yun, be careful lang kasi given yun din yung mga hinaing ng ibang security professionals, especially yung ibang mentors ko dito sa field. Sabi nila yun nga, no matter how Facebook may mga security control si Facebook pero hindi nila makontrol yung mga sponsored ads na may mga malicious intent sa mga user. So just be careful na lang.
So talagang parang ang naget na kuha ko talaga na parang pinaka gist nitong talk na to is unang-una, secure your password. Pangalawa, talagang mag-change ka ng password regularly, and also yung mga PIN mo, don't make it close to yung pero very basic na yun. Pero yung is before kasi may parang na ako na hindi ko dapat nililink yung GCash ko sa mga kung ano-anong mga games and apps lang. So how secure is it to link your GCash sa mga games? Kasi yung mga online games, feeling ko that's one of the feeling ko that's one of the ways for hackers to to get into our financial information eh.
Yes po. So pa rin, may mga may mga legitimate providers din or mga games na okay lang okay lang na i-link yung mga financial wallets natin or mga digital wallets natin with them, but still ang kasi doon, ang risk doon is what if ma-compromise yung platform na yon, and then automatic na lang na na magkakatat dun sa digital wallet. May mga ganong scenarios. So meron din mga instances na wherein yun nga, may nakikita kaming mga post dun sa although nagbabasa lang ako ng mga article dun sa ibang forum. So ganito, may nag-post na biniblame niya yung mismong digital wallet provider kasi nga bigla na lang daw siyang kinaltasan ng ganitong amount. It's a big amount, it's a 5-digit amount. Tapos hindi naman wala daw hiningi na OTP, walang ganito ganyan. So nung chinek, yun pala yung account niya nakalink doon sa mga online sabong. Tapos yung platform ng online sabong is na-compromise. Tapos without his knowledge, kasi syempre hindi mo makita yung mga yung mga transaction list. So gaano naman talaga mag-work yung mga yung mga perpetrators, yung mga hackers na yun. So yun, they found out na yun, nakalink pala dun sa isang online sabong na unregulated. So yun. So make sure lang, it's okay lang naman to link your your mga your digital wallets as long as yung platform na saan kayo may mga sila, may mga security controls in place, or may mga what you call this, may mga policies, or at least they have this bond with their users na, or may mga statements, may mga terms and conditions sila na kapag may mga fault yung system nila, mababawi niyo yung nawalang pera. If kailangan talaga ng investigation na, or if the investigation finds out na it's their system's fault, yun. Mababawi niyo yung mga financial wallets niyo. Yan po.
Ayan. Grabe, ang daming learnings for today's video.
Wow, wala na tayong time para sa Pops Talk.
Kulang yung 1 hour, pero we learned so much.
Kung nakikita niyo akong palingon-lingon, that's because I'm already changing the passwords to my lalo na yung Yahoo Mail ko na ang tagal na yata mula nung huli ko siyang pinalitan ng password. Pero doon nakakonect yung primary na bank account ko, 'di ba? Ang talino. Ayan, go Shirls.
Alright, so siguro dapat na tayo mag-closing kasi 8:00 na. Gustong-gusto pa namin makipagkwentuhan pero kailangan natin magpaalam. Lahat ay may katapusan. So, nagpapasalamat kami sa Popsco Media, our partner in giving us this wonderful show. And join us again next week for another show with another special guest. Pero bago yan pala, isisingit ko lang sa mga Popsco members that ang Popsco mayroong pakulo ngayon. Mayroon kaming affiliate marketing, Facebook affiliate marketing course na nag-start ng September 15. So, nag-send na kaninang email para sa mga members namin. The Facebook marketing course will cost you only 400 for non-members is 499 pesos, and for members is 300 pesos. At sa mga members namin, pwede rin kayong kumita. Isend nyo lang yung link ng aning Google form at pwede kayong kumita kasi makakakuha din kayo ng 100 pesos sa kung sino man yung nagsa-sign up sa ating affiliate marketing course. At dun sa mga member at hindi namin member na gusto ka agad, hindi nakapag-check ng email, pwede kong ilagay mamaya sa ating chat box kung ano yung link na yon para ma-check ninyo. Okay? And baka meron pa kayong sasabihin, Jehan and Rochefel?
Wala. Masyado ako natuwa.
Natuwa ka masyado.
Natakot at natuwa.
Natuwa ako na nataling ako, ganon.
Okay, ako naman learning ko, yung na-confirm nga ni Rico na don't click yung mga link, especially yung mga games. Ako kasi bihira akong mag-games, pero nakikita ko yung iba kong mga kasama ng mga online professionals, nag-game sila. So, i-check din po natin ha, huwag tayo masyado magtiwala. And next week, join us again para sa isang special guest na naman. And for our Popsco family, let's keep growing together.
Yan. Thank you, Rix.